will share my screen. All of you, once I share the screen, let me know whether you are able to view or not. Are you able to, all of you able to view my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today is lecture 18. We will learn about file management. In last class, we have learned about memory management, and today we will learn about file management. File system in operating system. File is a collection of related information that is recorded on secondary storage, or file is a collection of logically related entries or logically related entities. From user's perspective, a file is the smallest allotment of logical secondary storage. That means when we refer as file is a smallest allotment of logical secondary storage. Logically, it is stored. There is no physical existence, but logically, we say that there is a logical existence of file. File directories. File directories can be referred to as collection of file is a file directory. The directory contains information about the files, including attributes, location, and ownership. Much of this information, especially that is concerned with storage, is managed by operating system. The direction is itself, the directory is itself a file accessible by various file management routines. I think all of you know the concept of file directories. What are what is the directory, how they are managed, what is the structure? I suppose everyone of you know. Let me share my whiteboard. My whiteboard is visible to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Operating system, then hardware, files, and folders. Then there is memory location. I draw the arrow. This is the diagram of file management by operating system. This is the schematic diagram. The file manager or file management system is the manager in the operating system and creates the illusion that there are files and folders being stored in computer memory. Okay. So let me again start. Again go to the slide which I was sharing. Can anybody tell me the definition of file directory? What do you mean by a directory in a file? Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of file directory?
Ma'am, it's a collection of files.
A collection of files as well as folders also. It can happen that there are several folders that are present in a directory, folder, subfolder. File management, it is the process of administrating a system that correctly handles digital data. Therefore, an effective file management system improves the overall function of a business workflow. It also organizes important data and provides a searchable database for quick retrieval. Information contained in a device directory. These are the several information that are present in a file directory: name, type, address, current length, maximum length, date, last accessed, date, last updated, owner ID, protection information. In protection information, what kind of security scheme the folder or the directory is having, that information is displayed. Owner ID, it displays the owner information. Maximum length defines storage space. Current length defines the length of the directory. Address, how it is accessed. Name and type. Sometimes some directories are system directories also. Normal users cannot use those directory. So that shows the types. The main purpose of a file management is to enable users to create and store new file on a device, view all the files stored on the device, and to organize files in different hierarchical arrangements such as folders or subfolders for easy classification. Yeah. Easy classification is being done. Why we arrange the file in different folders or subdirectory? So as to classify easily. Classifications on a particular type can be done easily. Operations performed on a directory. There are different operations that can be performed in a directory. Search for a file, create a file, delete a file, list a directory, rename a file, traverse the file system. What is meant by traversal in a file system? Can anybody tell? Traversal in a file system. What is the meaning of traversal here? Anybody of you can give me the meaning? Traversal. Traversal means moving in a directory, in a subdirectory. Let me share my whiteboard. I will give you more information about the name, type, address. Let me share. And we can write file structure. Under file structure, what are the points or what we can write? Wait. I hope all of you are able to view my whiteboard. A file has a certain defined structure according to its type. Yeah. Based on the type, the structure of the file is different. Now, what are the different types? When we say type, what does it mean? A text file is a sequence. Wait. A text file is a sequence of characters organized into lines. Remember this, how a text file is represented, and this is also a type of file. A text file is a sequence of characters organized into lines. So this is one of the type. What about another type? Let me write. A source file is a sequence of procedures and functions. That means first file type was text file, and next is a source file. What is a source file? It is a sequence of procedures and functions. Now another file type, an object file is a sequence of bytes organized into blocks that are understandable by the machine. An object file is a sequence of bytes organized into blocks that are understandable by a machine. So if we draw the diagram, if we want to show it directly, file types, file types, this is text file, another, what is the next one, text file, and then source file, wait, source file, then object file. These are three types of file. When operating system defines different file structures, it also contains the code to support this file structure. Unix, MS-DOS support minimum number of file structures. Now, this was about file structures. Again, there are some more file types. I am again drawing the diagram of file types. There is further more classifications. File types, divide them as ordinary file, then there is another type which is called directory file, and another one special file. These are different file types: ordinary file, directory file, special files. Now let us study one by one. File types refers to ability of the operating system to distinguish different types of files such as text file, source file, and binary file. Many operating systems supports many types of files. Operating systems like MS-DOS and Unix have different file types like ordinary file, directory file, and special file. What is ordinary file? These are the files that contain user information. These may have text, databases, or executable program. The users can apply various operations on such file like addition, modification, deletion, or even removal of the entire file. Directory file. This file contains list of file names and other information related to these files. Special file. Special files are known as device file. These files represent physical device like disks, terminals, printers, networks, tape drive, etc. These files are of two types: character special file and block special file. Data is handled character by character, as in case of terminals or printer. And if we talk about block special file data is handled in blocks, as in case of disks and tapes. Now, should I rub this? I'm clearing,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm clearing this, and now I will you will learn about file access mechanisms. File access mechanisms. What are file access mechanisms? What are the different file access mechanisms? Can anybody tell me what are different types of how you can access a file in different ways? Does anyone have any idea of file access? How they can be accessed? Piyu Boshak,
Yes, ma'am.
do you know any kind of file access mechanism?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Any other student? How in different ways the file access is being done or the file content of the file is accessed?
Ma'am, maybe through the file location, we can access it
Yes.
using the directory location.
Okay. File access mechanism refer to the manner in which records of a file may be accessed. There are mainly three types of ways. If I partition it, wait, let me partition it. First is this one is sequential access. Now, can someone tell me when one is sequential access, what are the other types? Any guesses? It is direct or random access. And the third type is indexed sequential access. So these are mainly three types of file access mechanism. Sequential access is that in which the records are accessed in some sequence. That is, the information in the file is processed in order one record after the another. This access method is the most primitive one. Example, compilers usually access files in this fashion. Direct and random access. Random access file organization provides accessing the records directly. Each record has its own address on the file, with by the help of which it can be directly accessed for reading or writing. The records need not be in any sequence within the file, and they need not be in adjacent location on the storage medium. This was direct or random access. Now what was third one? Third one is indexed sequential access. This mechanism is built up on base of sequential access. An index is created for each file which contain pointers to various blocks. Index is searched sequentially and its pointer is used to access the file directly. What is the use of pointer? To access the file directly, to refer to that address area and access the contents in the address area quickly. This was about file access mechanism. Now we will learn about space allocation. Let me again clear and I will write space allocation. These are the three types. Again, there are three types. If anyone knows any of the type, then they can respond. This one is, will anybody tell me what are the types? Anyone have any idea? Contiguous allocation. Then the next is linked.
Index allocation है ना?
Yes, very good. Who said indexed allocation? May I know your name?
Ma'am Shovik.
Okay. Shovik, try to attend the class regularly. You're a good student. But I
Ma'am
don't
पढ़ी तो
find
मैडम.
ठीक আছে. Indexed allocation. So these are the types of space allocations: contiguous, linked, and indexed. Can anybody tell me anything about these allocations? Any property, any characteristics? When we are talking about space allocation, we can say that files are allocated disk spaces by operating system. Operating system deploy following three main ways to allocate disk space to files: contiguous allocation, linked allocation, and indexed allocation are three types of method. In contiguous allocation, each file occupies a continuous address space on disk. Assigned disk address is in linear order, easy to implement. External fragmentation is a major issue with this type of allocation techniques. So, next one is linked allocation. Each file contains a list of links to disk blocks. Directory contains links or pointer to first block of a file. There is no external fragmentation. Yesterday you all learned about different types of fragmentation, effectively used in sequential access file and inefficient in case of direct access file. If we talk of indexed allocation, it provides solution to problems of contiguous and linked allocation. Why it provides the solution? Because there is an index that is created. Each file has its own index block which stores the address of a disk space occupied by the file. Directory contains the address of index block of files. What does a directory contains? It contains the address of index block of the files. Now, if we return to our slide, these are the operation performed in a directory: searching, creation, deletion to list directory, renaming of file, traverse the file system. What are the advantages? Efficiency, naming, grouping. What is efficiency? A file can be located more quickly. Naming, it becomes convenient for users as two users can have same name for different lives, or many have different names for the same life. Grouping, logical grouping of a file can be done by properties, example, all Java programs, all games, etc. So these are the advantages. If there is any confusion, then you can ask, else I will end this meeting. If there is any confusion, unmute yourself and speak. No confusion.
The space allocation one, can you repeat it once? Ma'am, the continuous allocation, ma'am, how it works?
Okay, so since today time is less, remind me, Suraj, in the next class, I will again explain space allocation. Okay.